Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are doubling back with two flow sequences targeting those tight spots in the body. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to begin today's practice finding a comfortable, tall mountain stand at the top end of your mat. You can take your stance as wide or as narrow as you need it. Start to root through your feet, lengthen through the line of your legs, and as you lengthen through the line of your spine, find a small 12 o'clock tilt through the pelvis. Float your arms gently overhead, bending the elbows and grasping your wrists. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, start to tug the right wrist, bringing the whole right arm closer towards the midline. Pause. Center align yourself. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, tug the left wrist, bringing that whole limb closer towards the midline. Center align once more. Take a big breath in. And on a long, lazy exhale, start to bend the knees, start to fold forward, keeping that bend in the knees, and start to ragdoll sway side to side, keeping both knees soft and bendy. Come to stillness along the midline, plant both hands on the floor, and step your legs back one at a time, coming into a down dog frame. As soon as you found it, find some playful rotational movement through the knees and the hips. Then start to morph into a forward tracking down dog pedal, bending one knee, extending the other leg, and starting to stretch and open up through the back chain of your legs. Then start to still your dog, stretch legs, stretch spine, stretch arms. Soften the right knee, kick up the right leg behind, giving a brace into that foot. Do a swing through step into a low lunge, relaxing the back knee, shin and foot, walking your way up to the lead thigh, pressing off the lead thigh, starting to lean forward slightly into your low lunge. Then see if you can open up into a gentle crescent lunge, bringing your hands overhead and looking for more curve in the spine. Then straighten up the back line and bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart, pressing into both palms and feeling those elbows tracking wide. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, try to twist right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, pressing into the two palms. Fingertips are looking towards the top end of your mat, and your right elbow is looking up to the sky. Untwist your trunk and bring your hands in front of your heart. Start to bump your way back, extending the front leg, trying to keep all 5 toes on the mat. Then all 5 toes off the mat, pressing into your heel. Splay the front foot out at 45, planting both of your hands on the mat, coming into a lizard lunge, leaning forward over the front edge of your mat. Pause here, looking for that intense stretch into the inner thighs and the groin area on the right. Then see if you can bring the back knee off the floor, tucking the toes under, coming into a high lizard and holding. Then start to bring your front leg in, coming into a wide standing straddle, both hands on the floor, or you could do hands on hips if you prefer. Pause here, maybe wiggle walking your legs further apart. Then see if you can cross the left hand over the right, placing it as close to your right leg as you can, and take a gentle twist to the right, maybe opening up your right arm to the sky. Begin to pivot on your lead leg. Kick up the back leg, coming into a standing split, maybe both hands on the floor. Step your legs back into parallel, softly folding forward, hands to floor or hands to shins. Soften your knees like a rag doll, peel back up, start to restack, start to realign. Roots through your feet, lengthen your legs, small 12 o'clock tilt as you lengthen the spine. Float your arms overhead, soft bendy arms to grab your wrists. Big breath in, tug the left wrist. Back to center, tug the right wrist. Back to center, big breath in. Exhale to bend your knees and fold forward like a rag doll. Keeping those knees bendy, start to sway side to side. Come to stillness, plant your hands on the mat and step back into a down dog frame, finding that playful rotational movement through the knees and the hips in blissful dog. Then start to morph into a forward tracking pedal, bending one leg, extending the other, looking for more stretch. Then coming to a point where you can hold your down dog, looking for that delicious stretch into the legs, spine, arms. Soften the left knee and kick up into a three-legged dog, bracing into your heel. Do a swing through step into a low lunge, relaxing the back knee, shin and foot, walking your way up onto the lead thigh, pressing away. Then floating your hands overhead and looking for more of a crescent frame through the back. Straighten up your back line and bring your hands to prayer, pressing actively into both palms. Big breath in. Take a soft rotational twist to the left, hooking to the outside of your knee and pressing the two palms into one another. Straighten up, untwist. Start to bump your weight back, extending the front leg, keeping all 5 toes on the mat and your prayer hands active in front of your heart. Then peel all 5 toes off the mat. Splay your foot softly out at 45. Bring both hands back down to the mat and lean forward into your low lizard lunge, keeping that front foot softly splayed out. Maybe you can morph into a high lunge. Start to pivot to the side, setting up a wide standing straddle, both hands on the mat. Engage those inner thighs, engage your core. Then maybe cross the right hand over the left, trying to place it as close to in front of your left leg as you can, and take a gentle twist towards the top end of your mat. Start to pivot on your lead leg, kick the back leg off the mat, coming into a standing split. Step up your floating back leg and come into a forward fold, hands to floor or hands connected along the chain in your legs. Like a rag doll, soften your knees, peel back up, restack, realign. Root through your feet, lengthen your legs, find that 12 o'clock tilt. Soften your arms, float them overhead to grab hold of your wrists. Big breath in. This time, as you tug the right wrist, try to tuck that limb behind your head and nod your chin to your chest so that you're getting more of an intense stretch into the right shoulder. Keep your chin tucked towards your chest as you bring your arms back to the middle. Take a big breath in, then tug the left wrist and try to tuck that arm behind your head. Inhale to center line. Exhale to fold forward, maybe with a straighter leg line. And then this time, as you sway side to side, you bend one knee, you extend the other leg, and you rotate towards your extended leg. Looking for more stretch. This round as we double back. Come to stillness, center aligned, step or hop into a down dog frame. Finding your blissful rotational movement through the knees and the hips. And then starting to morph into a forward tracking down dog. Hold your dog. Look for that intense stretch, making your crown heavy to the floor. Soften your right knee and pick up the right leg behind, toeing and heeling on your extended leg. Do a swing through step into a low lunge, planting that foot firmly on the floor, walking your way up, easing your way into a crescent lunge, and floating your hands overhead to curve generously through the spine. Then straighten up your back line and bring your hands to active prayer in front of your heart. Big breath in. On an exhale, we're going to twist right, hooking to the outside of the knee, pressing the two palms together, right elbow to sky. Untwist your trunk and bring your prayer hands back in front of your heart. Start to bump your weight back, extending the lead leg, all 5 toes on the mat. Then peel all 5 toes off the mat, thinking toes to sky. See if you can keep your balance and hold and find a soft fold, bringing your trunk and your prayer hands parallel to the floor. Keep bracing into the foot of that extended leg. Then splay your front foot out. Find your way into a low lizard. And if all is going well here, maybe you can drop 1 or 2 elbows to the floor. You could also modify with a block underneath the arms if you need it. Maybe this time you can tuck your toes under and bring the knee up off the floor. Lean the weight forward into your wrists, pause there. Then press the weight back into your heel and hold there. Then relax your back knee to the floor. Walk your way up onto the hands. Bump your hips back and see if you can connect to that back foot. Then bring your weight forward, coming into a bound low lizard lunge. If that's not happening, maybe just bend the back foot, toe off the floor, and maybe just reach with your fingertips for the wall behind you. Modify, play where you're comfortable. Then begin to pivot on the front foot, finding your way into your wide standing straddle, maybe reaching your hands from the inside to wrap around either your inner calves or your inner ankle area, making your crown heavy to the floor. Hanging here for a bit, opening up those legs nice and wide. Then keeping your right hand where it is, maybe cross your left hand over the ankle, holding onto your right ankle with both arms. Then start to pivot towards the top end of your mat, kicking up the back leg, coming into the standing split, maybe bringing your right arm off the mat and holding for the back of your right calf this time. Ease your way into a forward fold, maybe holding onto both calves, thinking crown to floor, nose to knee or shin. Like a ragdoll, start to peel back up, restacking, realigning, making sure you're bringing up your head last and giving yourself a moment to just center yourself. Root through your feet, lengthen your legs, find that 12 o'clock tilt, float your arms softly overhead to grab hold of your wrists. Big breath in, nod your chin to your chest as you tug on the left wrist and try to tuck that limb behind your head, looking for more of an intense stretch into the shoulders as we double back. Find your way back to center. Exhale to repeat on the right. Inhale to center line. On an exhale, start to softly fold forward, maybe keeping both legs extended this round as you fold, making those forearms and elbows heavy to the floor. And then find your rotational twist, bending one knee, keeping the other leg extended and rotating towards your extended limb. Come to stillness, center aligned. Step or hop back into a down dog and find that playful rotational movement through your knees and your hips in blissful dog. Start to morph into a forward tracking down dog. Then hold the dog and stretch the entire body, thinking crown to floor. Soften your left knee and kick up into a three-legged dog, finding some toe and heel play on your floating leg. Do a swing through step into a low lunge, walking your way up onto your lead leg, pressing away. And then begin to look for more of a crescent frame into the back as you gently float the arms overhead and look up to the sky, opening up through your throat and your chest center. Then straighten up your back line and bring your hands to active prayer in front of your heart. Take a moment to center yourself. Big breath in, rotate left, trying to tap or hook to the outside of your left knee, pressing the two palms together and allowing that left elbow to look up to the sky. Begin to untwist your trunk and bring your hands in front of your heart. Start to bump the weight of your body back. Begin to extend the front leg. Then peel your toes off the mat. Maybe add a forward fold, keeping your balance and trying to bring your trunk line and your prayer hands parallel to the floor. Start to splay your front foot out, plant both hands on the mat and find your way into a low lizard. Maybe this round, see if you can drop down onto the forearms. You can use a block to modify if you need to. Maybe you can bring the back knee off the floor, coming into a high lizard lunge. Bump the weight forward into your wrists, pause. Then bump the weight into your back heel, pause. Release the back knee to the floor. Walk your way up onto your palms. See if you can reach back for that foot, hugging it in. Maybe looking over that back shoulder towards the back end of your mat. Looking for an intense stretch into that back quad. Then begin to pivot, finding your way into your wide standing straddle, reaching from the inside to grab around your ankles or maybe your calves as you make your crown nice and heavy to the floor. Pause here, trying to open up the legs into a nice wide stance. Maybe you can keep the left arm where it is, start to twist towards that left leg and grab hold of the rest of your ankle with the right arm so that you're cupping your ankle with both hands. Begin to pivot towards the top end of your mat, finding your way into a standing split. Maybe you can bring the left arm off the mat and cup or hold your left calf. Find your way into a forward fold, holding onto both calves. Trying to center, align your body weight so that you're evenly dispersed between the balls and the heels of your feet. Then soften your knees coming onto the haunches. Take a seat on the mat behind you and extend both legs in front, giving them a little shake up. Bend your right leg and ground the foot to the mat. Hugging that knee in towards your shin, hugging the shin and the knee in towards your chest as you take a tall seat and extend the foot of your extended legs so toes are looking up to the sky. Try to find both of your bum bones, keep them pegged, and without shifting your body weight, start to rotate towards that incoming knee, grabbing with your palm to hug that knee in to center. Maybe you can bring the back hand off the mat and reach for the wall. Then untwist your trunk and bring your right arm in front of your right knee. Press with the arm, resist with the knee. Hold. Look for that tall seat. Check that both of your bum bones are still on the mat. Maybe you can bring the back arm off the mat and reach that for the wall behind you. Then bring the left arm forward and with both arms reach past your feet. Taking a gentle fold. Come back to a tall seat, extend both legs out in front. Give them a little shake. Start to bend your left knee, hug that limb in towards your chest and maintain your tall seat, both bum bones equally pegged into the mat. Start to rotate towards that knee, grabbing opposite hand to knee, taking a tall seat, both bum bones still equally pegged. Maybe you can bring that back arm off the mat and reach for the wall behind you. Then start to bring that back arm in, hook it to the inside of your left knee, twisting in the opposite direction, pressing up with the back of your arm and squeezing in with your knee. Center your weight, lengthen your core, and see if you can extend your right arm to reach for the wall behind you. Then bring that back arm in. Reach both arms over your legs as if you were trying to reach past the edge of your mat. Then bend both knees and start to find some spinal rolls. Maybe just 5 or so rolls. Ending on your back and come into happy baby, reaching for the arches of your feet, tugging down as you bend the knees and weight them towards your armpit. Try to relax your tailbone and your lower back into the mat. Pressing the whole weight of your back equally into the mat. Then release your feet and your arms to set yourself up for a bridge line. Take a moment to square up through the knees and the feet. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, start to curl your tailbone in. Begin to peel your tailbone and your lower back off the mat. Floating your belly up towards the sky. Walking up nice and high on the shoulders. Towards the chest. Take a stretch from your breastbone through the line of your belly, through the line of your legs, all the way to your kneecap. Activate your glutes, your quads, and your hamstrings. Then soften from the belly button to the knees and peel back down one line of the ribs at a time, starting at the shoulder blades and finding your way towards the lower back. Find your way back into happy baby. This time we're going to try to wrap around the outside of the feet as we tug down, thinking knees to armpit, finding our spinal line, and then pressing the weight of the entire back equally on both sides of the spine into the mat. Bleed up into a small chest lift and bring the soles of your feet together, wrapping your hands around your ankles and tucking into a little bow-like frame, tucking those heels in as close towards the perineum as you can. Then relax down to the mat. Think supine butterfly. Your arms could be at your side, or you could open into more of a soft T-frame. You're going to keep your left butterfly line where it is, and you're going to start to step the right leg over the left knee, bringing that foot to the floor, maybe holding for that foot as it arrives on the floor, and keep looking over the right shoulder, coming into the beginnings of a spinal twist. Ease your way back to butterfly. And then keep the right butterfly leg where it is and start to twist and rotate with the left legs, trying to step over, maybe toe or some of your foot on the floor, not forcing the twist. Back to butterfly. Then start to splay your legs out so that you're in a little star stretch, reaching through your toes, your fingertips, your crown. Stretch through to your extremities. On an exhale, tuck into a tight little ball. On an inhale, stretch and reach. Exhale to tuck. Start to move back into a spinal roll, giving yourself maybe 5 rocking motions up and down. Find your way from here into a tall seat, extending both legs out in front. Bend your right knee, ground the foot, and hug that limb in towards your chest, maintaining your tall seat with an active brace into your support leg. Start to twist towards your lead leg. Maybe this time you're grabbing with your whole arm and hugging that knee in towards your chest. Maybe you can maintain your tall seat this time as we double back and extend the back arm to reach for the wall behind you. Then untwist your trunk and bring that back arm in, hooking to the inside of your right knee. Press and resist. Maybe reaching your back arm for the wall behind you. If all is going well, maybe you can bind to the outside of your bent leg, bringing both hands together behind your back in a little bear grip. Looking over that back shoulder and making sure that you keep the foot of your support leg actively braced. Keep your belly button pulled into center. Then untwist your trunk. Reach both hands past the foot of your extended leg. Maybe you can even hold onto it and pull those toes in towards your body line. You could use a strap or a block to help you make that connection. Maybe you can even come into a heron boat, bringing that limb off the mat and thinking boat or heron-like line. Begin to morph yourself into a spinal roll. Ending on the back to find your way into happy baby, grabbing from the arch of your foot and tugging down on both feet. Thinking knee to armpit, relax that tailbone, make your whole sacrum nice and heavy to the floor. Relax your chin towards your chest so that there's no tension on the nape of your neck. Release the feet and set yourself up for a bridge line. Take a moment to just find yourself on the mat, and when you're ready, articulate up. Maybe this round, as we double back, you can walk the shoulders in. Maybe you can find a bind, bringing the two hands together. Chin pressed right up against your chest. Activate those glutes, hamstrings, and quads. Breathe. Baddha Setu Bandha, bound bridge. Undo the clasp with your arms. Open up the shoulder blades. Bleed your way down to the mat. Find your way back into happy baby. This time you're reaching from the outside of your feet and tugging down. Making that whole back line heavy into the mat and making sure your tailbone is heavy to the mat. Add a small chest lift. Start to look for a bow-like frame in the body as you bring the soles of your feet together, coming into a hanging butterfly. Then release into a supine butterfly. Arms could maybe be T-framed, and just allow the weight of your knees to gently open up and stretch into the inner thighs and the groin. Hold your butterfly line on the left. Start to bring the right knee up. Maybe this time drop the right knee and limb to the floor, maybe holding on to that knee. Maybe you can bleed up and reach for your left toes, holding onto the toe of your back leg with your right arm and the knee, the left knee, or rather the right knee with your left hand, so opposite hand to foot. Find your way back to butterfly. Just pause here for a moment. Press the soles of the feet together, arms softly teed out, knees nice and heavy, spine in a comfortable neutral line. Keep your right leg butterfly where it is and start to bring your left knee up, stepping the knee over, reach opposite hand to knee. Maybe you can bleed up and reach for your right foot with your left arm, coming into a modified supine spinal twist. Play where you're comfortable. Back to butterfly, pressing the soles of your feet together, arranging your arms in a soft T-like frame. Pausing here, neutral spine, big breaths in and out. Then start to extend your legs. Find a little star stretch, stretching from your belly button to your toes, from your belly button to your fingertips, from your belly button to your crown. Exhale to tuck. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to tuck. Inhale to stretch one last time. And then just begin to melt your whole body, taking our star frame and marrying it with Shavasana, corpse pose. Close your eyes, take your focus inward. Keep your eyes closed and start to wriggle your right toes. Then stretch each toe from base to tip. Relax. Now brace into your heel and stretch from the heel to the toes. Relax. Brace once more into the heel, stretching all the way from your heel to your knee line on the right. Relax. Brace into the heel, this time stretching all the way to your right hip. Relax. Wriggle your left toes. Stretch from the base of each toe to the tip. Release. Brace into your heel and relax. Brace into that left heel again. Take it all the way to your knee on the left. Then release. Brace into that heel and take it all the way to your left hip. Release. Contract your lower belly. Contract your pecs so that the front chain of your trunk is engaged. And then release and soften. Squeeze your two glutes together. Hold it. Relax. Squeeze your two shoulder blades together and tighten up from the upper back through the mid back through the lower back. Then unzip to relax your shoulders and your back into the mat. Wriggle your right fingers and then stretch each finger, pinky through thumb. Make a soft fist, tensing to your wrist line. Then soften and relax the fingers. Make that fist again, tensing all the way to your elbow line on the right. Relax, release. Make that fist one last time, tensing all the way to your shoulder joint on the right. Then relax, release. Wriggle the fingertips of your left hand. Then stretch each finger, pinky to thumb. Make a tight fist. Release. Make that twist again, tensing all the way to your elbow on the left. Release. Make that twist again, taking it all the way to your shoulder joint on the left. Release. Gnash your teeth, tense your jaw and your neckline. Then release. Soften. Pucker up your nose and your forehead and pull a funny face to the sky. Then soften the skin and the muscles of your face. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, flop your head off center to the right and pause. Inhale to bring your head back to center. Exhale to flop your head left. Inhale to bring it back to center. Big breath in. On an exhale, softly nod your chin to your chest and release the nape of your neck. Then start to melt and soften your crown, your face, your jaw, neck, collar, arms, chest, belly, shoulders, back, bum, legs, feet, toes. Take a moment, relaxing your whole body and just dissolving yourself into the floor. Inhaling and exhaling gently through your nose. With your eyes closed and your focus inward facing, bend your knees, grounding your feet, pausing for a moment to release your back before you roll over, preferably onto the right side of your body with your left shoulder looking up to the sky, and find a little fetal tuck that works for you, rearranging both hands into a position that is comfortable for you. Keep your body and your breath soft, pliant, and relaxed. Preferably with your eyes closed and your focus inward facing, press up into a seat of your choice to end off your practice for today. Hands can just be soft and relaxed. Keep a comfortable, neutral spine and listen to the truth of the next few words. Don't get stuck on the outlines. Double back every now and then, revisit, change things up. Coloring within the borders is a good place to start, but don't let this be your end all. Go back, double back, get creative, explore. Explore beyond the borders you have created for yourself. With those thoughts, place your right hand over your heart, overlay the left hand on top of your right, and let's end off today's practice internalizing the words Shanti, peace within, peace without. Thank you so much for coming out and doubling back with me today. Till next time, keep it light.